Alrighty, let's do this. Hello everyone, welcome to our second episode of Tequila Chats. I am very excited to have an amazing guest today, Bear. Welcome to Tequila Chat. No, I'm kidding. Sinesia, Karol. Sinesia, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us, and thank you very much for hosting us on your home. This is really gorgeous, really beautiful. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
If you haven't met Sinesia, I have many things to say about her. First one is she is a powerhouse. You are really an incredible human being, which is the most important thing. A great friend. She is an incredible fashion designer, as well as a really generous philanthropist with her husband, Bill. She's a wonderful patron of the arts. But I think you have one fault, Sinesia.
What it is?
You have never tasted tequila. And I'm very suspect of this. So
now everybody knows my secret.
Well, we're going to change this for you today.
Okay,
and so,
all right.
So you really never tried tequila?
No, never.
That's the craziest thing
Not
I've ever
crazy,
heard.
it's
That
crazy.
It's really insane.
I had tequila as like in a mixed drink.
Okay,
You know?
but never like
Never
tasted
like
it.
straight tequila,
Okay.
never.
So actually, this is very nice. I'm usually a very like heavy-handed kind of like person.
Okay.
And if I told you I used to be a bartender back in the day,
Really?
and I was the worst bartender in the world. Like
Oh,
literally,
my
like
God.
the
I don't believe
grossest-
that.
the
I really
grossest-
don't.
The grossest drinks you could ever, have in your life. But it's because I was very heavy-handed, and I will have this line of people waiting for me. Like the rest of the bar will be empty, except for like my side of the bar.
Really?
Only because they wanted like the triple shot on, of whatever it was.
So you are
cheers to them.
very good to them then.
So let's see.
All right, let's see, guys. There you go.
Do you
Hey,
like
you
it?
guys.
Are you praying?
Let's see. Let's do this.
Let's do this. What do you think?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah? You like it? So let me tell you about it.
it's good.
So this tequila is a part of this company, Leyendas de Milagros. So they have very popular tequilas, but they also have this kind of like reserve line. So it's called the Select Barrel Reserve. This is the Reposado. So they
Okay.
put this in these like oak barrels. They are like this French oak, American oak barrels for around 6 months. And so that's why you get this kind of like chocolatey, a little bit of a peppery kind of like undertone to it. And so I think it's a really nice.
Well,
plus
actually, the bottle is gorgeous.
Absolutely
Like,
gorgeous. It's
I would
almost like
buy just for the bottle
Absolutely.
to begin with.
No, it
you
is
know?
gorgeous. Like really,
But
really beautiful.
I am, like I say, I don't drink a lot of tequila, but this is really good.
It is, right?
Look at that. I've been
There we
going
go.
for the second.
What do you think?
What do you
Cheers.
think? Cheers.
Here we go.
Thanks for coming.
No, thank you. So, you know what this conversation is about? It's really about kind of like finding out from very successful people that have worked really hard to build what they have, but not learning just from the shiny stuff, because that's what we usually put front, right? And we talked about this before. All that people see is what we sometimes put on social media, which is all about success, which is great. That's how you learn in some ways. But this is more about a conversation about the things that go behind the scenes, the hard work that sometimes people don't see, the sleepless nights, the failure, the trials and tribulations, all of that stuff. And I also believe that an important part of this conversation is understanding who the person is. And I always talk about this in terms of, I call it the origin story. Where you come from, I think, informs who you are.
Yeah.
Where you come from really informs what you do with your life and how you approach life and business. And so, would you mind sharing with us kind of like your origin story?
Yeah. So, like you said, nothing in life, is easy.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I often say to people that it's not when you want to have a dream, but you need to have a passion for.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody dream about something. I want to, my kids dream about so many things. But if you don't have the passion behind, you're not going to go anywhere.
Yes. I
Because-
actually heard you say that the other day.
Because
Yeah, it was
dream
very-
only take you just to one part of your, your journey.
Yeah.
But you need to really love what you do. You need to really knowing that it's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes people say all the glamours that go behind.
Yeah, yeah.
The fashion showing, we walk to with these beautiful models, the beautiful collection. But the amount of work that goes behind, the scream that when things doesn't, come in on time. And so it's hard. And
Yeah.
for me, it's even harder because I am a perfectionist. I like everything to be perfect.
Yeah.
And I think like, they off call me like, oh, how many hours do you work a day? I'm like, yeah, 24/7.
Yeah.
I
No,
feel
that's
like
true.
sometimes I'm a doctor, I'm always on call. And the greatest idea I have most time coming in the nighttime.
Yeah.
So I need to wake up and like, oh my God, I need to write this down because I wanted to remember tomorrow. And I take a village, as you know,
Yes.
to do anything.
Yeah, you don't do it alone. It takes more than one person.
Yes.
But I think what is interesting is you have to really articulate that vision and you have to articulate that dream very clearly and kind of like help manage that dream in order for it to become what you want it to be, right? Don't you?
Yes. I think like, we have a vision, right? And I have a vision, but I have to have like a team behind me that understand my vision too. Because it is like, I work as a team. I cannot do anything by myself.
No, yeah.
So it will be impossible. If anybody thinks they can do anything by themselves, they're so wrong.
Yeah.
And I know what I cannot do it, and I know the things that I can.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to know once I think you figure out who you are and what part of you are in your company, become much easier for people that is around you.
So let me ask you a question. As you're talking about your team and building your team, what do you think was the most important decision that you made when you were building that team? Was it a specific hire? Was it a specific direction? What do you think made the difference when you were building
I think
the team?
I let go the people that I was not adding to my team.
Got it.
I never really wanted to be around people that is negative.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be around people that like, is awful lot my husband tells me in business, that bring me the solution.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a problem, and you explain to me the problem. What is the solution? So when you bring a problem to you, you need to bring a solution as well.
Yeah.
So I think like in my team, I always tell them, look, if you have any problem, because you have problems, what is the solution that you have already behind? Have you think about the solution?
Yeah.
So, and I think like, have helped me in my business, even when I talk to buyers, when the buyers complain because buyers buy your collection and then they give you feedback, right?
Yes.
And so when they are giving me the feedback, they would say like, let's say, this baby suit did not sell. And I would say, why did not sell?
Yeah.
So tell me why. What was wrong with the baby suit? Is the cut? Is where
the
you
print?
The print. There was like, no, because I want to hear. Or maybe you bought the few piece for the wrong clients.
Yes.
Because you can't try to. So I also like, but then I love the feedback they give to me because making me all the time grow to do a better, a better collection and fix on the problem. But I always come with a solution as well. I don't sit down there like, oh my God, like
dwell over like take it personal.
Yeah, no, never.
Yeah, which I think that is the biggest difference between running a business and actually having a business. I think that anybody can run a business, but just because you're running doesn't mean you're going to have it. And I think I learned this myself, when you start letting go and when you start, again, incorporating the people that make the most sense for your vision, that's when you really start seeing those gains. And I think that's such an extraordinary kind of like process, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think like having fun too. Like, a lot of people like, my God, like having fun. Even like when in my office, I always have the music, I think people, when they are happy, they really work better.
Yeah.
If you're all sitting there, like, especially in fashion, you need to have fun.
Yeah.
If you don't have fun, it's like, oh my God, I kind of like.
Yeah. Bethany's here. Bethany, we need a DJ at the office. Tomorrow, we're going to
Or
hire
have the tequila. Come on.
I should have a tequila bar at the office, Bethany.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know, can we do that? No. Maybe we have to cut that part.
They have the tequila, they have the music,
So I've heard, I was with you, I was your guest a couple of weeks ago at the Boston Arts Academy Gala, and you received these honors for your contributions to fashion. And in your speech, and you mentioned it earlier, you talk about dreams and passion. Obviously, the passion just comes from inside. You can feel it. You have to only meet you once to understand that your passion is palpable. And it could be fashion. I could imagine it could be anything else, and the passion will be kind of like the same. But in terms of your dream, when you're talking about fashion, where does that dream come from? Is it a genesis to it? Is it an influence in your life that kind of like put this dream on the table for you? Like, I'm just curious about that.
Yeah, well, I think like, for sure my mom, because I grew up in a household that my mom made all of our clothes. And so I had the chance and the opportunity to go and learn about fabrics. So I would go to the place and buy fabrics before I was a little girl,
Yeah.
And so she would like, make the dress and everything that was left over, I would make for my dolls.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, so it's like, so I kind of like in a dream about like fashion, I have a fashion show one day with the dolls. So I feel that like came as a child, and I kept like, I grew up thinking about that and everything that I did was involved around fashion.
Yeah.
So in different ways. And then my mom had a store, my mom had a baby suit production, like a manufacturer. So I learned that. But then I came to the United States, I got married and I had kids. And that dream was put on side, but not really, because everything that I did here in Boston as like philanthropic, I always like involve fashion.
Yes,
if you want to do something
that is
like
a threat, yes.
Yes. And it was funny to think about that. Like now I'm looking back, I would think like, oh my God, like I had so many opportunities here that I was not even had my line, but Christian Louboutin, when he came to Boston for the first time, I was his host.
Yeah.
Alexandre Beam, I was his host. So I always like doing something.
Yeah.
And it's fun because I learned the other side of business too.
Yeah.
I learned being a client, what a client looking for,
Yeah.
which is very important.
Yes, it is. That is,
right?
yeah, that is. It's in my business the same thing. You have to learn immediately what the client wants in order to really fit their vision into what you're providing them.
Exactly. It's not like make a beautiful collection and you think like only your friend's gonna buy and you're gonna put that and they're gonna sustain you forever.
Yeah.
So you're gonna like create this collection that you love, and then you need to think about, okay, as you're growing, what's the most important part of the business? It is your clients.
Yes, it
because
is.
your clients are the ones that are gonna buy.
Yes.
And they are the ones that are gonna like support your business,
Yes. Yeah.
So I always have this mentality because all the brands, the big houses that I am involved with, I am the most important to them when I'm with them.
In my business, I feel exactly the same way. Everything that we do is about the client. Sometimes we feel like we have the answer, we have the idea, we have the vision, whatever it is, but ultimately it's about how we kind of like translate that into what our clients want. And on that, let me ask you this, because you're originally from Brazil, from Victoria, right? For those of you who are not familiar, that's a little bit north of Rio, right?
Very nice.
Okay, I have to go and visit you there. There you go.
He did his homework.
I did, you see. And something that is really beautiful about your creations, like, again, a lot of people think that you only do swimwear, which you do, but you also have your ready-to-wear. You do some men's. We actually are happy to have some shirts that I really, really love.
Okay.
There's accessories, all of that stuff. But what I love about your design is that you can very clearly see where your Brazilian aesthetic kind of like meets your American aesthetic. Do you think that has been an important part of the success of your fashion line? Being able to merge those cultures so clearly and so beautifully?
I think so, because being here for so long, and I travel so much around the world, it also gave me like the sense of different styles, different shapes, Mm-hmm. So I don't only design for one type of woman. Yeah. I design for many types. Mm-hmm. And always be my dream was to, anybody that walks to my store, to find something that actually gonna fit you.
Yeah, yeah.
So translating like the Brazilian, this, the love for life and the color and the true American, you go to Miami, the United States is so big.
Yeah.
And the United States, I feel like Miami is a whole different world, but then I have all my clients from Boston, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, So it's different type of clients, even though they're traveling so much, but it's different. So I feel like now when people look at me now, I'm not a swimwear designer anymore. I'm creating all these beautiful dresses, ready to wear, and kids collection. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, it's a lifestyle.
Yes.
When you look at when you go and you look at it, it's an actual lifestyle.
Yeah.
Stuff that you can only go to the beach or to the pool or in your yacht, whatever it is, but that you can wear from that out into your dinner. Yes. I think there's something very beautiful, and I think it's really interesting because I grew up in Colombia, as you know, and in Colombia, body conscious clothing, at least when I was growing up, was for everybody, regardless of shape.
Yes.
And that's not necessarily something that you see translated into other kind of cultures, but I love how you bring it into your designs. Is this idea that body consciousness goes beyond body type, and I think that's really, really cool.
I feel like whatever you wear, you need to feel really good about yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No.
And but a baby suit is something like, oh my God, you really need to look really feeling amazing.
Yeah.
You feeling.
Yeah, yes.
Because that's the place that no place for you to run
Yeah,
or
no,
to go.
that's what you have.
Or otherwise you're gonna be sitting in a chair like, covering yourself. So
Yeah.
I feel like if you're wearing whatever you are wearing and you're feeling really good,
Yeah.
that confidence that you have,
Yeah.
it's gonna like make you so happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I wanted to do. And then like I feel like, with the ready to wear, just happening. I didn't plan that way.
Yeah.
But I start seeing all my friends and clients like wearing my pieces like to go to a wedding, going out for dinner. And
Isn't
like,
that crazy?
oh my goodness, this
Yeah.
is incredible. So they start telling me like, your stuff is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel bad wearing that to the beach.
Yes.
So I start wearing that to go out.
Yeah.
So that's how everything started, in the other push of the.
And so I
the job.
love this story about your first client. So tell us about your first client, because that is, I am not surprised, but it's the craziest of stories. So
How
tell me.
crazy is that,
It's
right?
crazy, but I
So
love it. It's amazing.
My first client was Bordov Goodman.
Incredible.
And
That's crazy.
I didn't even know how hard it was to be there.
Yeah.
Because I always went there to shop and I thought all the designs that is amazing, they had a relationship to get in. So it wasn't until they bought me at my first collection. First collection was beautiful, but you still learning.
Yes.
It's a lot of problems.
Of course.
And oh my gosh. And they say to me, I want you to, the first delivery to be between November 15th to December 5th. But if you are 1 day late, we cancel your order.
Really
I'm
like that?
Like that.
That's crazy.
So I was like, oh my gosh. So because I didn't know that they were going to put this huge order as well. And I didn't even know how my production was going to work.
Yeah, but it's going to say, it must have been very nerve-wracking.
Was.
Yeah.
Was.
Very crazy.
And because everything was the beginning,
Yeah.
everything was the beginning. So anyway, they bought it, and they become this mad in the house. I didn't have a lot of people working for me. I didn't have I didn't have an atelier. So we start finding people that could produce the order.
So your production was in different
Different
places?
because I was focused on bathing suits.
Yeah.
So that production was perfect.
Yeah.
But all the cover up, things like that, I thought that they were just going to buy few things.
Yes, not the whole thing. Yeah.
No, they ended up buying more of that than the baby suits.
That must have been
So
crazy.
it's kind of like crazy, but we did it.
Yeah.
We delivered, but it was, oh my God, nights and nights and nights of craziness and not knowing what's going to happen. But they did open all the doors for us.
Oh, I can only imagine. What is the one thing that you learned from that one experience that changed your entire business?
Well, first of all, I was incredibly grateful because I could not believe it.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
I actually launched my line and they are my first client.
Yeah.
It's kind of oh my God, this is incredible.
It's amazing. It's beautiful. Yeah,
And, but I feel that the learning that there is a deadline that you need to really, you can't be messing,
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
so that was very important because I think they taught me a lesson that is if you're going to stay in this business, if you say it's November 5th, it's November 5th.
Yeah.
Because every day counts. So once you become a client of them, if you are late or something like that, you have a penalty.
Yes.
So every day is a penalty. Yeah. So it's kind of you have to give them 10% off, 5% off, on the top of that. So you learn very quickly because no matter what you do, and I wish to tell to Brazilians, because Brazilians, they push everything to the last minute. And I told them, listen to me, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So because if you do that, we're gonna die.
Well, it's almost like suddenly you realize you are in business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you think
very quickly.
Yeah, you go from this creative process, oh, this is beautiful, I love it, to it's beautiful, it's amazing, but now you gotta deliver, you're in business.
Now listen to me, you need to deliver that.
Yes, exactly, now by November 5th.
But November 5th, so that means need to be here 15 days before. We need to check everything to see if that is perfect and then send it to them. That was a big lesson to me that I learned to not to do and to be really careful, and I was. So one thing that I always say that, I've been busy for 12 years, have never been a day in the 12 years that we delivered anything late.
You learn from the best in some ways, right?
Yes. So we had problems they have something I could not produce 10 and we produce like 9 because we have a problem, not like deadline.
Yeah, that's
So a
pretty
deadline is deadline is very important to everything. Don't you think?
Oh, yes, it is.
Right?
No, but listen, my business is based on deadlines. I wish sometimes that the people that we work with understand that the deadlines
Yeah.
are very important. But they
Right.
are. They are meaningful to people. If somebody has to move into this place this date, and they're proposing the date, is for that reason. And sometimes you have to kind of like, at least in my business, you are working with so many people. There are banks, there's attorneys, there's interior designers, there's all the stuff. And they have their own issues, own deadlines. Sometimes we have to kind of like funnel all that attention into going back to the client, into what the client wants. Because it's ultimately about the client. We could have whatever excuses or stories or justifications, whatever, but it's ultimately going to be about the client.
Because I think things happening, okay? So things happening, and I agree with people like things happening and can be, but it's sometimes I feel that people get this habit that everything is okay to be last minute. And I feel that in fashion, I don't know if you notice that, there's so many talented people there, but they don't really make it.
Yeah.
Like they can make for 4 or 5 years, but then we wonder what happened to them. Probably a lot of things around, like on the way, like this, not being like on time, and
well, it's the difference. You were saying the
so-
difference between your dream and then actually running a business.
Yeah.
There is something. I think that there's a lot of beautiful ideas. There are a lot of beautiful dreams. They're all worth it. They all add to the beauty of our lives. But ultimately, if you're in business, you are in business, and you have to become that.
Yes.
But I'm going to change our conversation a little into something else, because something that I love about you and Bill and your family is your generosity. You guys are major founders for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, and that's just one of the who knows how many organizations you support at this point. What is the meaning of philanthropy for you and for Bill?
Is huge. It's part of our life.
Yeah.
So we taught our kids, and that everything that be given to us, it's because we work very hard to create this, but I also know we need to give back.
Yeah.
Because it's part of living in this world.
Yes.
Is to give back.
Yes, it
and
is.
it's to give back to your school that you go to. It's a matter of like saying thank you, like how amazing my kids can go to these amazing schools. It's because all the teachers, everybody that work behind, all this amazing hospital that we have here today is because of the generosity of so many people,
yes.
that is behind here.
Yeah.
Because like our government, they're not paying for like to make a new wing at a hospital.
Yeah.
This is all come from like really
Private donors.
donors.
Yes,
So private donors is very important. And how important it is for us to have like, I always saying that one day I was driving from Boston to New York, and this is a horrible thought, but I was thought like, what about if I have an accident in Worcester? Where do I go? Where do we take me? They will take me to the closest hospital, right?
Yes.
So the closest hospital will be Worcester Hospital. And I said to me, we need to give back to the hospital. And be like, we don't even live here. I said, we have to.
Gotta build
because our
community,
kids drive from New York to Boston all the time.
Yeah.
So it's funny that I thought about that, and I'm sure that a lot of people don't think about those things. But I always think like when you give back to things that is important in your city, it's not when you help other people, you're going to be helping yourself.
Yeah, in many ways, yes.
Yes, you are. And it's like, library, God knows your granddaughter or grandkid going to love to be in the library. It's nice to, and that's how I feel. I think art, museums, I love art.
Yes.
So
yes.
we love to
you
collect.
have a gorgeous, yes.
Thank you.
You're quite the patron to your,
I
to your
love it.
artists, yeah.
And I think it's important, to have, to give it back to the museums. It's part of like a culture,
Yes. Yeah.
And so no matter what you do, I don't care what you do and what are you passionate about it. I think giving back and find something that you love about it make you feel good.
Yes. Yeah. Well, like you said, it's part of building a better community. I always say that, at least in my business, if the community is not doing well, I have no business.
Yeah.
Right? I really don't. And so I have to be invested in making sure that.
But you are
that
extremely generous.
Well,
for a little bit that I've been going out with you, you are generous. You are very thoughtful.
Well, we got no. I'm with you. Like we have to give back. I think we, earlier in the conversation, I was like, I think about my genesis. My story. Again, I come from very humble beginnings, and I'm very lucky that I have whatever I have, right? Might be just the shoes, all that's left.
Yeah.
But that's what I have. And I think it's important to recognize that.
Yes.
And it's important to realize that what you do for the community has tremendous meaning to other people.
Yes.
And that when you give back to the community, you're opening opportunities for other people just like you to build their lives and to have a better place in the world. Like
it's not like I feel also very fortunate to be here in Boston because living in another part of the country, I realize not everybody is as generous as we are here in Boston.
Well, Boston is a very generous
very
city.
Generous.
Yeah, New England, I think, in
very
general, is a
generous.
very generous city. You're absolutely right on this notion because when I moved here, I found that the part of the American experience was really being part of the community. There is this whole notion, even as much as it's about, you building your life and building your business, whatever it is, there is something really interesting about American culture that has to do with giving back and building community. It's really interesting that you notice that because I noticed exactly the same thing. And I found that really beautiful about our country, about
and I
culture.
love it because now with my Brazilians are always like, guys, if you guys want to do something like, who are you gonna give it back to?
Yeah,
you need to understand that it's so important not only for you, for everybody that is around. What is the most important thing in a country like my country? Is safety, education, and health.
So wait, by the way, how is the tequila?
By the way, look at this, guys.
She's been going for it. I'm going to put a little bit more. Do not judge me.
Okay.
I just need a little bit more. You want like a little?
No, I'm fine.
No, like a little? Okay.
Let's not push
No, I'm
the
not.
first experience.
I discovered I'm a pusher for
Let's
sure.
go slowly.
Being a pusher served me well in real estate. But
Oh, it is.
so let's now talk about fancier things.
Okay.
So you're quite the fashion, not only fashion mogul, but you're quite a fashion influencer.
Am I?
Are you kidding me? Every time that I look, this one is in Paris, in Milan, in New York. They're just going to the fashion, like first row, and not like first row at the Ricardo Rodriguez fashion show, but like first row at the Louis Vuitton, at the Fendi. What is going on? Tell me everything. I love it. It's fantastic.
It's funny. I went to a dinner last night that I came home, I was thinking about this. Most of the people that I saw yesterday, they know about my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they know exactly what I was.
Yes.
But they never let a little like in my Instagram.
Oh.
I was going to...
What about...
I was going to say, for someone that knows so much what I do.
I like your stuff, I think.
That's pretty funny. No,
Am I in the clear?
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And was right next to Bill, and Bill, and oh my God, your life live this glamorous life. And I'm watching oh my God, telling that to Bill over and over again. He's gonna be like a little. I say it's because I went to Fashion Week. Fashion Week is crazy, and I am so happy that I got to be in many fashion shows.
Yeah.
But I've done this for years and years and years.
Yeah.
But I don't take anything for granted.
Yeah.
So, but this year, I decided that now I don't have no kids at home anymore, and I was gonna go to Milan for a week. I said to Bill, after that, I'm going to Paris, for more fashion shows. I think I'm going to stay in Europe. Because why am I going to come home? I have to go back home.
Yeah.
And he's like, sure. And so I was in Europe for 21 days. And while you were there, it's like fashion shows and dinner and lunch. It was really living the life. And I was really having a lot of fun.
Well,
because going to the fashion shows... I
feel very bad for you right now.
No, I felt like I really enjoyed every single day. But in the end, I was very tired. So I have all these people doing, what are you guys doing now? Like videos, filming. Yes. I say, stop. I don't want no more picture of me. I don't want no makeup. I don't want anything. I just want to chill. Yeah. Because after 2 weeks, going after... But it's so much fun. It's so much fun to see what is the next, what the designers are thinking. You know?
Well, it's inspiration also, I'm sure, in many ways for you. You're looking at all these trends,
I feel like I'm working because I'm sitting there oh my God, I want to do this. Yeah. This is the next thing. Yeah. It's very, very cool for you to know and for you to experience that part of, life.
So recently, you moved to Boston. You had your gorgeous home in Westwood, which
Yes.
was absolutely stunning. I was there a couple of
Thank
times.
you.
So beautiful fashion show there once. Was it with Vogue?
Vogue.
Brazil, right?
Yes,
That was
Vogue Brazil.
fantastic. That was
Yes.
gorgeous.
That was beautiful.
But now you're here in the city, in the Back Bay. So happy that we were able to find this place for you. What is it to be like living in town for you right now?
Do you want me to be honest?
Yes, go for it.
I feel like adjusting to the city life. I think it's fun that I can go out and go out to restaurants, you know. But I feel that when my kids are here, we feel we don't have a lot of space for everybody. But again, like the olders, they have their lives. But I'm such a mom that when I like, you know, to have everybody's here. But I love that there is only Bill and I. And then sometimes, you know, you don't need like a huge space. And especially for us that travel.
Well, you came from a huge house.
Yes.
Like
so
was,
it's adjustment, okay?
Yes.
If I say that, oh my God, you moved from here and there, you're like, no, again.
Yes.
It's very few people that have all this here in the city, like, right?
Yeah.
But the view is stunning.
Yes.
It's like, oh my God, I wake up like, oh my goodness, it's 360 degrees
of
of
views of Boston.
It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
But we do have a home not far away from here.
Yes.
On the beach.
Yes.
That we kind of like, you know, we go there, so we have our time in your home and come back. But it's been like, you know, I would say, it's been fun to see my friends.
Yes.
Because all my friends around here.
They're around here, yes.
Yes. And it's so fun that you can call me like, okay, do you want to go out for dinner?
Yes.
Or do you want to have a drink?
Yeah, it's nice.
We're here.
It's great.
So it's great.
It's also good to see you once in a while, walking by, shopping. You
Yeah,
know?
no,
That's
it
a fun
is.
thing.
It is. Even like the other day, I went out for lunch and I took this beautiful walk on Tuesday. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
The weather was perfect. And I said, oh my God, it's so grateful. It's so fun to be in the city.
Yeah.
And just like go for this long walk.
Yeah.
So it's been like, you know, it's different for us. But I would say that I like very much.
Yes, I love it.
You
So
love
now,
it.
I love, you know, I love this city.
My husband love it.
Yes,
He
it's
love
amazing.
it.
I just love the walkability. I love the.
You're a city boy.
I was born. You know, I was born in Cali in Colombia, which is one of the major cities there. So I'm like a true inner city kind of like guy. And so I love this.
And now you live in Miami too.
Yeah, and but by the way, I was just going to say, it's so good to see you in Miami, which is fantastic.
I know, right?
It really is. But now, I've taken enough time from you, and so I'm going to ask you the last question. What is kind of like the key to success in your opinion?
In my opinion,
Yes.
the key to success is work hard.
Mm-hmm.
Don't step anyone in your way.
Yes, yeah.
Up.
No one's toes, yes.
You know, because sometimes people forget, like, and just remember where you come from.
Yes.
So be
I love
ground
that. Well,
to whatever you made you to be here today. So,
you're amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mwah, mwah.
Thank you. Thank
Cheers
you.
to you.
Cheers.
Congratulations on all your
Thank
success, and thank you for spending this past few minutes with us. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. Salud.
Salud. This is good.
It's good, right?
Yeah,
Cheers.
it is. Cheers. Thank you.